Today I made some glazed and some chocolate donuts that I fried up using store-bought biscuit dough and crescent dough, the kind that you get in the can that pops. You know what I'm saying? Make them, don't make them, I really don't give a shit. Microwave safe plate. And I'm gonna spray this with some cooking spray, sugar, flour, eggs, butter, and almond extract. I need to be honest with you guys real quick, okay? I put on this jewelry. I'm sorry, but I needed something to distract from my hair. Also, in a minute, we're going to go over to the stove, which I cleaned because it was so gross. And I thought you might lose your appetite if I didn't clean it. So, lest you think that my stove always looks that sparkling clean, it doesn't. Okay, I just had to get those things off my chest. Did you know that you could make hot, fresh donuts? Hot and fresh out the kitchen. With biscuit dough. And I recently found out from my brother, crescent dough. He called and said, "Do you have the recipe for Mom's donuts?" Now, my mom can cook a lot of things, but she used biscuits. He didn't have any, but he did have the crescents. So he made them, and he said they were great. So I'm going to try it with both. The good people at Pillsbury put these things, out. And, it doesn't really, I don't think, matter which variety you choose on the biscuits. Like, these are butter tasting. These are original, whatever. I think it doesn't matter, I think. Pillsbury, by the way, just in case you're listening, this is called product placement. And I'm just saying, just give me a call if you want to open up discussions. So really, all we do is fry these. I'm not joking. And then we'll talk a little bit about like what kind of toppings. But you know what a donut topping is and what you like, and that's what you do, glazed chocolate, cinnamon, sugar, whatevs. So the hardest part, of course, as always, is the frying, because frying is not, in my opinion, easy, because there's a lot of room for failure, undercooking, overcooking, like burning the outside, raw on the inside, particularly with these. So that might be something to give consideration to when you are choosing your biscuits. Like, don't get like get the thin ones. I don't know if I did that or not, but so you can plop it in just like that. And then frankly, you could fill it with cream or something and have yourself like a, whatever they call those. Can't think of it right now, but you know what I mean. The chocolate on, but like a Boston cream or whatever. I have this, just I think a donut cutter. So I could try that. But I think I'm just going to try and cut a hole out of the middle. That's going to be a really big hole, but I'm going to try it. Okay. And then you have some donut holes as well. You could also just, quarter it, make some donut holes by just, cutting them into quarters and making donut holes this way. So I'm going to do a few of these. I'm going to cut them up. I'm going to turn on the stove and start heating up the oil and trying to get that to the correct temperature, which I don't know what that is. And I'd rather guess than use the thermometer. There's just a lot of trouble. I don't have the time. Oh, you know I'm lying. And then I'll meet you over there and we'll fry them. Okay. Okay, so here's how I usually try and gauge if my oil is ready. I took a little couple pieces of the the dough and put it in here, and it rose to the top and started sizzling like it was cooking, you know? That's how I gauge it. But then again, I'm not very good at frying things. Google it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a few donuts in here. It might be a little not hot enough, but we're gonna go with it. A couple of donut holes. You want to put them all in at the same time, like per batch, because every time you add one, it's going to bring the heat down on the oil. So you want it to remain even for all of them. I don't even know if that makes any sense, but that's what I said. So I don't know how my brother cut the crescent rolls. So I just left two of them together, so it was a rectangle instead of the two triangles, and rolled it up and then just sliced little donut holes out of them. So we'll see how that works. The other thing I wanted to mention to you is, you can pretty much fry any kind of dough and it will taste good. My granny used to make fried dough when we were kids, which was just her bread dough fried and then put sugar on it, or powdered sugar or something like that. So, yeah, I think this is looking good. Yeah, you can see that. You can see the biscuit layers. It's kind of cool. It's like separating up a little. Yeah, no, maybe this is the right temperature. I don't know. You're going to be tempted, like I am right now, to start flipping, but you only are going to want to flip once. Uh-oh, that's stuck to the bottom. So resist your urge to, oh, crud. It just flipped. Resist your urge to flip too early. Oh, it flipped by itself. I didn't do that. All right, well, we're going to just see what happens. So yeah, you can buy bread dough, like the pre-made bread dough at the grocery store, or make your own bread dough and fry it. That would bring back childhood memories for me. Make sure you have your something with some paper towels so that the oil will drain off of it. And then when we go back to the other side here, we're going to talk about getting them, putting some frosting on them, which is obviously the whole reason we do it, to get the frosting into our mouths, and the various ways that we can do that. So, and we want to do it pretty quickly while they're still warm. So I'll see you there in a minute. We'll see if they're cooked on the inside. Okay, bye. Okay. So, yay, here they are. While they're still warm, I want to start putting the glaze. So I did cut into one just to kind of make sure that they were cooked on the inside. They're a little crispy on the outside, but I wanted to err on the side of caution as far as, the rawness on the inside, we wouldn't have been able to do anything about. But I actually think that's pretty good. I think my oil was just a touch hot, but I don't know, maybe these guys are, we'll see if they're cooked on the inside. Let me cut one open real quick. They're pretty hot. Oh yeah, no, good. I think they're well cooked, actually. Not overcooked, but not raw. So yeah, we're in good shape here, guys. So all I did for the glaze was put in some confectioner's sugar, powdered sugar, a teensy bit of vanilla, and some milk, just a few drops of milk until it's this consistency, or whatever consistency you want. I would say this is the consistency, maybe this is a little thinner than like Elmer's glue. Elmer's, hashtag Elmer's, product placement. Okay, so let's just go ahead and put one of these suckers in here. I'm gonna double glaze, so I'm gonna flip it. Uh-oh, maybe I need to make it a little thinner, or else I'm only gonna get like 2 donuts glazed out of this. So then what I've got here, and do yourself a favor and do this, a cooling rack, and then a piece of wax paper underneath for cleanup, for easy cleanup, okay? So, yeah. It's a lot of glaze on there. So, let me just show you one other thing before I go here. But that looks pretty good, don't you think? Pretty fast, too. If you'd like a chocolate glaze, which, and this is just me, I would go ahead and glaze all these in the regular glaze and then just let it dry a little bit and then do a chocolate dip on the top of one of them if you're like me. So I did the same thing here. I just didn't put any vanilla in it, so it's just milk and confectioner's sugar. Now, if you want really, really good chocolate icing, I would melt some chocolate in the microwave and add it to this. And then add more milk or sugar to get to the consistency you want. Or if you don't feel like going through that process, just take some cocoa powder and add the cocoa powder here and then get it to the right consistency. I'm gonna definitely need to add another couple drops of milk to this. And then use that as your chocolate frosting. But you guys, honestly, I mean, it's a vanilla glaze. You can add different, flavorings to it. You could add maple syrup to do a maple glaze. You could, or maple flavoring, any extracts or flavorings that you have. You could sprinkle some sprinkles on top. Jimmies, as we call them in Baltimore. Chocolate jimmies. You know what goes on a donut. Okay, you don't need me to tell you that. Good Lord, do everything. I might make this a little thicker, just so it's less of a glaze and more of an icing. And like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and glaze all these, and then I can add spread on some of that chocolate. That's my plan. From an allergy perspective, no eggs. I mean, there's wheat and soy, I believe, in the bread, in the doughs. And then, of course, dairy. But you can always use almond milk or, soy milk or whatever. I used half of the icing on that one donut. So it might have been a little thick. But look at it, you guys. Are you impressed? I am. Okay. I think I might be making real donuts. I might try and make real donuts. Actually, maybe I might try and make real, yeasted donuts. Or maybe tomorrow or the next day. Or the day after that or the day after that, whatever. I will be making, I think, soft pretzels. Also, and I hesitate to say this out loud, I could always edit it out later, because if my family hears, I'll be expected to do it. I will be doing croissants. Croissants take 3 days. So hold your horses on that. Okay. See ya.